going to be performing task 16, doing a physical exam on a dog. So we're gonna make sure that he's walking around, make sure there's no limping, notice any abnormal hair coat colors, anything like that, and make sure he's nice and friendly, which he is. He seems to be really nice. Keep walking around. So now that we know his temperament and everything like that, we're gonna go ahead and get a weight on him. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the scale. It's okay, so let's separate. There we go, which he is 8 pounds. So now that we got that, we're gonna go ahead and put him on the table. She's gonna go ahead and restrain for me. So we're gonna start off by looking at his capillary refill time, which he is nice and pink. I'm gonna go ahead and touch, and it returns back to color within 1 to 2 seconds, so that is normal. So now that we have that, I'm gonna go ahead and take a listen to him, get a heart rate, and get a respiratory rate. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if he has any murmurs or any abnormal respiratory sounds. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna count for 15 seconds, and then I'll times that by 4, and that'll get my heart rate and my respiratory rate. And as I'm listening, I'm gonna go ahead and feel his femoral pulse, and then make sure those are the same aligned with each other, which they are. I'm gonna listen to all my PMIs, make sure those are normal. Then I'm gonna go ahead and listen to his chest. So his respiratory rate is 16 and his heart rate is 116. So now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and look through his whole body. We're gonna do head to toe. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with his head. So I'm gonna look at his teeth, see what they look like. He has some tartar on there, a little bit of gingivitis. We go ahead and try to look at his tongue, make sure there's no masses or anything abnormal. So I don't see anything. His nose looks clear. It doesn't look like there's any discharge. I'm gonna look at his eyes, make sure there's no swelling or cataracts or any redness in the conjunctiva. Doesn't look like there's any discharge. And then I'll go ahead and look at his ears. There's a little bit of hair in there, but there doesn't look like there's any debris or anything like that. So that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and feel his mandibular lymph nodes. They seem normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to his neck. I'm gonna go ahead and palpate his neck and see if there's any pain that may be causing him. And then I'm gonna go ahead and palpate his trachea, see if there's any cough or anything like that, which there doesn't seem to be. And then I'll go ahead and feel his prescapular lymph nodes, which are kind of hard to feel. And then we'll go ahead and move to his back, see if there's any pain along there. She seems to be doing good. So while I'm already here, I'm going to check and make sure there's no ectoparasites such as fleas or ticks or anything like that. Which he does have one flea. now that we have that, I'm gonna go ahead and palpate his abdomen. I could slightly feel the liver, mostly feel the intestines, the kidneys, and the bladder, but he's pretty tense. It's okay, buddy. But she's a little difficult to feel because he's so tense for me. While I'm on his belly, I'm going to go ahead and check his penis, make sure everything looks well. He is a neutered male, so everything looks normal. I'm going ahead and check his butt, which his anus looks well. It doesn't look like it's swollen or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and move to his legs. I'm going to go ahead and check for the range of motion, make sure there's no masses, anything like that. I don't feel anything clicking or grinding. While I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and check his nail pads and his nail. And we'll move on to the next leg, do the same range of motion. And check his pads and his nail. They look good. And then we'll move on to the front leg. That's good. And one more leg. Alright, now that he looks good, after we've done that, we're going to go ahead and get a temperature on him, so that way we can get everything out of the way and use the last thing that's stressful enough last. Oh, I know this one. Alright, so his temperature is 100.9, which is normal. His body condition score is 3 out of 5, which looks great. So he is good for surgery. So after the exam, I went ahead and filled out my physical exam sheet explaining all my abnormal findings, my normal findings, heart rate, temperature, respiratory rate, anything abnormal. So I'd taken this and I went ahead and put it into his permanent record. So right here I went ahead and said what he was here for, his body condition score. His eyes were normal, his ears were normal except for a small amount of hair into the ear canal. His teeth were had a lot of plaque, so a dental was needed. And then abdomen was normal, the anal glands and the rectum was normal as well. Respiratory rate was normal, so I went ahead and put the respiratory rate in the computer, same with the heart rate. Lymph nodes, everything else seemed normal as well as that. And then I also abnormal the skin because I did find a flea. And then his behavior was normal. We did a heart rhythm test, which was negative. And then for the overall health, everything was pretty normal except for the common problems ahead of us.